Hey guys, there's a Legendarychomper Discord, link in the description. On the fateful day Agent 3 fought Octavio, the notes of the Calamarie Inkantation seemed to weaken the mind control of the Octarians watching. An Octoling by the name Marina Ida, one of Octavio's highest-ranking combat engineers and the smartest member of the Octarian army, came within earshot of the Calamarie Inkantation, and the mind control was severed. She muttered the word, "This changes everything," before leaving. Marina ran away from the underground, leaving behind everything she knew: her home, her friends, her family. She was lost and alone in this unknown world, but refused to go back, knowing that she would just be forced back under the oppression of the Octarians. She wandered aimlessly for hours, not knowing what to do or where to go, when she heard what could only be described as a strange kind of singing in the distance. She followed the singing until she came across none other than Pearl herself, 19 years old now and still practicing her singing on top of Mount Nantai. Pearl, thinking Marina was from some isolated rural area, a country bumpkin if you will, acted as almost a guide for Marina, introducing her to Inkopolis, Inkling language, Inkling culture, and of course, music. As the day grew old and the skies turned dark, Pearl and Marina parted ways. Desperately wanting to cling to the only person she knew in Inkopolis, Marina kept returning to Mount Nantai for a week, just hoping Pearl would show up. To pass the time, Marina began writing her own song, using a half-broken keyboard as her instrument. Pearl came back up to Mount Nantai to see Marina still there putting the finishing touches to her first ever song, Ebb and Flow. Pearl thought that Marina did an exceptional job considering the equipment she used, and decided to show off her rapping skills to Marina. Marina, thinking that Pearl was going to flop at rapping, was pleasantly surprised once Pearl got going. Marina liked Pearl's rapping so much that as soon as Pearl was done her verse, Marina bluntly blurted, "Let's start a band." And thus, Off the Hook was formed. Together they refined Ebb and Flow and wrote several other songs. They made an excellent duo. Pearl's uniquely developed vocal cords would normally shatter any audio system, but Marina, being very tech-savvy and amazing at wiring sound systems, was able to mix her own backing tracks that cancels out part of Pearl's audio, allowing for safe listening without burst eardrums. Although they had passion, it took a while for them to get their career off the ground. Their hearts were in the right place though, and even though they weren't getting much traction, they were still happy to be able to make music together. It was the month of June and every Inkling around the block was itching for a Splatfest. When Splatfest was revealed live on Inkopolis News, everyone was surprised to hear Callie versus Marie. This one Splatfest divided everyone in Inkopolis over who was the better Squid sister. Even though they tough-talked each other in the announcement, Callie and Marie never thought ill of each other and wished the best of luck to the other side. The Splatfest started and every Inkling involved played till they could play no more. It was the biggest event in Inkopolis history. When the Splatfest ended and the results came in, Team Marie beat Team Callie 2-0, coming as a surprise to even Marie. Both Callie and Marie thanked each other before Callie declared, "Squid Sisters forever." It's been 9 months since the Splatfest Callie vs. Marie. Since then, Callie and Marie both rocketed into stardom, becoming the biggest stars in Inkling society, reaching celebrity status and place far beyond Inkopolis. They began going down their own separate paths, with Marie finding a career in theater and Callie getting her dream career as a TV drama actress. With schedules bursting, they barely had any time for producing music or spending time with each other. Eventually they stepped down from Inkopolis News altogether. Inkopolis News spent several weeks searching for bands to fill the role of host. Pearl and Marina, still struggling for ground, decided to audition for the spot. It turned out they were somehow just as good for the job as the Squid Sisters. Even though their personalities were almost completely different, they compensated for each other and had banter just as silly as Callie and Marie. So many people were baffled at how they flew under the radar for so long. Off the Hook's career took off with their music selling like Krabby Cakes. They even got to see their idols, the Squid Sisters, quite often, even becoming close friends with them. Despite the media making it seem like the Squid Sisters weren't getting along anymore because of the final Splatfest, their relationship didn't seem to have deteriorated when they were seen together. Although as they began to see each other less and less, both Callie and Marie shared the same thoughts. Had the Splatfest really affected their relationship? Sharing a day off, Callie and Marie met up to talk and get some weight off their shoulders. They agreed that the best course of action would be to take a well-earned vacation home to Calamarie County. Marie went off first. Callie had an appointment that day and she couldn't delay, but promised to catch up the next day. The next day, however, was a big bomb to the Squid Sisters' plan. The Octarians overnight launched a surprise attack to save Octavio and steal the Great Zapfish again. Captain Cuttlefish's old age showing was almost powerless to stop the Octarians. Agent 3 managed to get herself out of bed, but not before the Octarians could free Octavio. Octavio, who managed to overhear Callie's vacation plan, made an on-the-spot plan. Capture Callie. Agent 3 tried to stop Octavio, but was held off by an Octoling. During the fight, however, Agent 3, Captain Cuttlefish, and the Octoling were all attacked by something, causing them all to black out. The next day passed with Marie waiting all day at the station for Callie, only for her to never show up. Gripped by a horrible sense of unease, Marie headed back for Inkopolis to find the place buzzing with news. The great Zapfish was missing again. She made her way to Octo Valley. Captain Cuttlefish's cabin was barren. Quickly, Marie went into hiding in Inkopolis Square, a place quickly rising in popularity and was becoming the new Inkopolis Plaza, where she started her search for her cousin. She didn't inform anyone on the situation except Sheldon, who agreed to help out with his vast arsenal of weaponry. With Callie now kidnapped, DJ Octavio used a special kind of hypnoshades on Callie, ensuring he had complete control over her. With Callie now on his side, morale in the Octo Valley was now at an all-time high, with approval ratings of Octavio skyrocketing. Callie's celebrity status brought a general feeling of goodwill and confidence with her just being there. Callie also began adding her own touches to the Octo army and the bases, not only making them look better, but more deadly as well. Marie hadn't made much progress in finding a new recruit. Every Inkling was just too laid back or too cowardly. Marie was beginning to lose hope when one day she noticed a particular Inkling girl. She looked awestruck by Inkopolis Square and was aimlessly walking around. She didn't know why, but Marie had a good feeling about this Inkling. It wasn't too long before the Inkling noticed Marie standing on the manhole and started approaching her. Marie slipped into the manhole to Octo Valley with the Inkling close behind. Upon reaching Octo Valley, Marie explained to the Inkling what was happening, as it seemed she didn't understand the situation. As it turned out, the Inkling only just got to Inkopolis and barely even knew about the Squid Sisters. Still having a good feeling about her, Marie recruited the Inkling, adding Agent 4 to the Squidbeak Splatoon. Agent 4 was doing quite well, even better than Marie predicted, taking down several Octarian bases and saving Zapfish, albeit she was very needy and a bit annoying at times. But she was all Marie had. DJ Octavio felt some deja vu when he was notified of Agent 4. In an attempt to stop history from repeating itself, Octavio sent out the next generation of the Octo weapons, more powerful than before, to stop Agent 4. The odds looked bad, but however, somehow Agent 4 was able to pull out victorious every time. The Octo weapons did buy enough time for the upgrades to the new Octobot King Mark II to finish, so Octavio devised a plan to kill two birds with one stone. Agent 4 arrived in the area where the Great Zapfish was, to be greeted by a similar situation as Agent 3 with a huge Octarian audience, the only difference being that Callie was standing there, waiting. Marie was relieved at first seeing Callie, but it was quickly overtaken by shock when DJ Octavio rose out from the ground in the new and improved Octobot King Mark II, complete with a small platform on top for Callie to stand on. The beatdown began not in favor of Agent 4, who was only barely able to stand her ground. Any attempts 4 made to hurt the Octobot only seemed to anger Octavio and Callie further. Just before the Octobot could deal the knockout blow, Marie came out of nowhere, riding on top of Sheldon's Ammonite's truck. Marie took aim with her charger and scored a direct hit on Callie's Hypnoshades. With the effects of the hypnosis gone, Callie jumped off from the Octobot to join Marie on the truck. The majestic flow of the Inkantation resonated in the air with more potent energy than any song ever, completely breaking the mind control of countless Octolings within earshot. Callie no longer on his side and Agent 4 bursting with gung-ho energy from the spicy Calamarie incantation, Octavio put up one final bit of resistance before he was once again defeated and the Great Zapfish recovered. The people of Inkopolis rejoiced once again upon the return of the Great Zapfish and Callie. However, along with the return of the Great Zapfish and Callie also came a steady flow of Octolings. With their mind control gone, they were free to leave the oppressive grip of the Octarian society and join the Inklings in Inkopolis. The Inklings, being a very carefree species, welcomed the new addition to their society with open arms. The Octolings did face a small amount of discrimination, only coming from the oldest of the Inklings who fought in a great turf war, but overall, times looked up for the newborn Octolings as they learned about the Inkling culture and enjoyed playing in turf wars. While Agent 4's adventure in Octo Valley was progressing, however, an entirely different set of events was happening underground. Agent 3 woke up completely alone in the Deepsea Metro. She wandered around the metro lobby where a phone was ringing in the middle of the room, the same phone that the scientists created 12,000 years ago. Agent 3 approached Tartar, but had started talking to her before she even touched him. Tartar told her the place she was in and gave her the name Applicant 10,007 along with a weird item called a CQ device, telling her that if she wanted to reach the Promised Land, she would have to collect the 4 things. Agent 3, feeling very suspicious of Tartar, decided to ignore its instructions, opting to find her own way out. She set out, making sure to map out the place on the CQ device. Somewhere else in the metro, the Octoling Agent 3 fought earlier woke up to Captain Cuttlefish, raring to go in a fight. However, the Octoling sustained a lot of trauma to her head when she was attacked, not only destroying the mind control goggles she had on, but also causing her to lose any memory she had of her past life, with the only thing she could remember being Calamarie Inkantation. Captain Cuttlefish, upon realizing this, decided to put their differences aside and cooperate with the Octoling to find where they were and how to get out. Cuttlefish and the Octoling wandered aimlessly around the metro before entering the same room Agent 3 was in just before them. They found the phone as well, and upon getting close to it, Tartar proceeded to come alive again and tell them the same thing it told Agent 3, referring to the Octoling as Applicant 10,008. Captain Cuttlefish shortened the name to Agent 8. A subway train slowed and stopped in the lobby, picking up Agent 8 and Cuttlefish. It was there that they met Cucumber, the conductor of the train and everyone's guide in the Deepsea Metro. He explained that the Deepsea Metro consists of several train stations which all have their own challenging tests of skill, dexterity, and patience. If Agent 8 wanted to find all the things to get to the Promised Land, she would have to complete several of these tests. After Agent 8 completed the first test, Captain Cuttlefish received a call from his walkie-talkie. Upon answering, he was greeted by none other than Off the Hook. Once everyone's confusion was worked out, Pearl and Marina offered their help and swore to stick by Agent 8 and Cuttlefish until they were able to get them out. As Agent 8 explored more and more of the Deepsea Metro, 8 was able to recover some of her memories of her past life living under the Octarians, and from what she could remember, she wasn't proud of it. She wholeheartedly looked forward to a new start in Inkopolis that Cuttlefish and Off the Hook told her so much about, reading every page that was in the Inkopolis magazine in the subway, just imagining what it would be like to live there. Over time, Agent 8 was able to overcome each and every test, eventually collecting all 4 things. Cuttlefish and 8 brought the things to Tartar, excited to head to Inkopolis. Tartar assembled the things and opened its door, telling Cuttlefish and 8 to enter. The duo entered quickly, failing to realize the death trap they just walked into. Pearl and Marina only noticed the things formed a blender right as the blades started spinning, ready to blend Cuttlefish and 8 into the sanitized zombies of Tartar's army. Panicking, Marina sent out an SOS signal from Agent 8's CQ device in hopes that someone would help. By some amount of obscene luck, Agent 3 was nearby and received the signal. Without wasting a beat, Agent 3 burst through the ceiling and slammed into the blender, completely destroying it and short-circuiting Tartar, but also rendering Agent 3 unconscious. Marina was able to download the data from Agent 3's device, creating a map of the area so she could guide them out. Agent 8 went on ahead while Captain Cuttlefish stayed behind to watch out for 3. Agent 8 pushed through several challenging floors, making her way upwards when Tartar finished rebooting. Agent 3 being unconscious made it easy for Tartar to upload itself into Agent 3's brain, allowing him to hijack her body and kidnap Captain Cuttlefish. Agent 8 made it through several more challenges before using an energy core to power an elevator to the surface. Agent 8 barely went anywhere in the elevator before Tartar, in control of Agent 3's mind and in possession of Captain Cuttlefish, stopped the elevator and engaged 8 in a fight. The battle was long, never before had 8 ever fought harder, even in her past life. Through skill 8 never knew she had, she landed the finishing shot on 3. With Tartar gone, Agent 3 went back to being unconscious and the elevator restarted, elevating Aid and Cuttlefish to the safety of the surface. Pearl and Marina showed up out of nowhere with a fleet of helicopters to pick them up. The crew began to relax when suddenly, a gargantuan statue in the form of a human rose out from the water with Tartar inside. A giant cannon emerged from the statue's mouth and began charging, aimed directly at Inkopolis. Tartar had collected enough DNA for the perfect life form and planned to start life anew, starting with Inkopolis. Marina identified that the statue gathered power from the sun to charge its laser cannon. She devised a plan that included Agent 8 climbing on the statue to detonate Marina's hyper bombs, a prototype weapon to cover it in ink, while Pearl warmed up her vocal cords to hit the statue with a battle cry amplified by the killer whale. Unfortunately, they were under a strict 3-minute time limit. Everything had to go perfectly. With the fate of the entire world on her shoulders, Agent 8 mustered up the last of her grit from her exhausted body and put it all into giving life one more shot. With one last blast from her Octo shot, Agent 8 covered the entire statue with ink, halting its charge. With the last of her energy spent, Agent 8 collapsed, briefly losing consciousness before composing herself enough to super jump to the helicopter with Captain Cuttlefish. The statue wasn't able to get a full charge on its laser, but it was enough to destroy Inkopolis. Before the statue could fire though, Pearl jumped out in front of it and pulled out her killer whale. With one final booyah, Pearl's laser overpowered the competition and completely decimated the statue, along with Tartar and everything it worked up over the past 12,000 years. With the tests of the Metro finally behind her, and a bright future ahead of her, Agent 8 traveled to Inkopolis along with Off the Hook, Captain Cuttlefish, and of course, Agent 3. Just like Inkopolis Plaza, Inkopolis Square was hit with a huge, game-changing Splatfest. That Splatfest being Chaos vs. Order. Pearl, representative of Team Chaos, argued that if everything was the same every day, that life would quickly get boring and it would be better for change to happen daily, even if that change wasn't for the best. Marina disagreed, saying that as long as you like your current life, it's fine for things to just keep repeating itself. Pearl decided to invoke Article 4 of Splatfest law, stating that the winning side of the Splatfest will affect Inkopolis. That Splatfest, every Inkling and Octoling in Inkopolis played their hearts out in what was widely considered the funnest turf war tournament since Callie vs. Marie. After the Splatfest ended, the results came in. It was close, but barely beating out the competition. Chaos reigned supreme. Marina was scared at first, thinking that Pearl was going to break off from Off the Hook, before Pearl was able to console her in saying that she never wanted to leave Off the Hook. She just wanted Marina to join her in breaking into new fields of music. With their friendship stronger than ever, Pearl and Marina kept hosting Inkopolis News while continuing to write more and more music. The next one always better than the last. But what does the future hold for Inkopolis? Pearl did instate Article 4 of Splatfest law. Who knows what the future could hold? Only time will tell.